Yo, what's up, Birds Fly Talk Nation here, man. We're up here in the studio here, and we're talking about plans and predictions. So here's how the segment's going to work. We're going to go through, talk about what we think the Eagles should do this week. We got free agency here. It's today, 4 p.m. here. What should the Eagles do? Because everybody's got an opinion on it. We're telling you what the Birds should do. Each opinion, we'll get some retorting going on. Then we'll tell you what we think is going to happen. Because Lord knows what we say should happen never happens, right? So that's what we're going to jump into. Good stuff here. Got a live crew here. Kevin Taylor on the prompting. Got
Julian Elzy.
Dougie Hines.
We are back on the scene, crispy and clean. You know what I'm saying, man? We are pumped. So let's jump right into it, man. So, Elzy, I'll get you to start off with what should the Eagles be focused on? What should they be doing? How should they attack free agency? Give it to me.
All right, here's my thing. There's two things to me that really have to be addressed, like that just have to be. To me, it's the wide receiver and cornerback. Third is running back, but to me, I'm more focused on wide receiver because we already have a couple running backs that can fill in the void. There seems to be a lot of talks at receiver, and there's a lot of talent out there, and there's a lot of different things that people are saying. But what I would like to see happen is possibly skip. I want to say, for the sake of the argument, and I can have somebody go against it, I'm going to say dive into the draft and draft a receiver.
Yes.
Even though there are some out there, we can dive into this draft because there's so much talent.
So you're saying no receivers in free agency?
No receivers in free agency. I'm just going to make a bold statement here and say that and say dive straight into the draft because you honestly don't. We know what we can get.
So Alshon,
Hard pass.
Pryor.
Son, I mean, there's a
Kenny
lot.
Britt,
exactly.
Deshaun.
But Deshaun's out. We already know that.
Yeah.
But it comes down to, unfortunately.
Did you want Kenny Stills before he left?
I did.
Before he stayed?
I did. I did.
didn't.
But when I saw that price tag, I was like, hell to the no.
What about Brandon Marshall? That guy who just
I think
did
I was
that.
the only one that was a fan of Brandon Marshall.
I wasn't a fan.
He was set to make $7.5 million for the Jets, and I said if you could get him for less than that, go
What's he
for
taking?
it.
6?
He's taking 6 with the
Six.
Giants.
Yeah.
But he was also quoted saying he wanted to be with a contender right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he probably looked at the Eagles and said,
a contender.
I don't think
A
that's
contender.
The Giants.
Look,
Yeah, hey,
we all know why he
defense is
stayed
nice.
there. We all know why he stayed there because he's on NFL Network and he doesn't want to have a long commute on his days off. Let's
Exactly
be
right.
honest here. Ain't nobody
Doesn't even
taking
have to
$6
move.
million because that other paycheck he's getting is probably, making up the difference. Am I right?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That money's coming from somewhere else.
But so you're
Straight
saying
cash
no free agent. Any other signings?
As far as receiver or just offense in general?
Anything.
Or,
This is free agency.
Free agency? Okay, as far as defense, I would like to see us try to sign somebody who has some experience.
At corner?
At corner. Because I feel like wide receiver, you can get away with having a younger receiver, but everybody sees what happens when you have young DBs who just have no experience. For example, let's flash back to 2 years ago, right? When we had Eric Rowe. Was that 2 years ago now? When we had Eric Rowe and he was covering Megatron?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Yep.
Yeah, Thanksgiving, yeah. So that's what happens like when you have a younger receiver, younger
PTSD
DB.
from that.
Yeah. He really does.
Sidebar. I noticed Eric Rowe actually puts himself in the perfect position to actually make these. He just gets mossed.
He does.
Look at the
He
Super
does.
Bowl. That
And-
Julio
and the
Jones
craziest-
catch was on him.
The craziest thing is,
He was in perfect
the
position.
craziest thing about Eric Rowe is he's one of the bigger DBs.
Yeah. But hey,
But that's
What is
beside.
he, like 6'1"?
He was like
6'2"?
6'2".
yeah.
But
Death
hey.
Row didn't last long in Philly.
Not at all.
All right, so Dougie, let's hear yours. Let's hear it.
All right, so I would like the Eagles to stay away from corners.
Really?
I don't think, obviously, as of right now, they don't have enough money to go out and sign a number one
Boom,
corner.
roasted.
I think this
Boom,
draft
roasted.
class is huge for the corners. It's so deep right now.
It's true.
But, I mean, it's tough to sit back and say, hey, we're in the NFC East. We got Des Bryant,
Mm-hmm.
Odell.
Brandon Marshall.
And it's tough to say for us to try to, I guess, build through the draft right now and trust all these rookies throw them out there on islands. But, I mean, they got to learn somehow, I guess.
Might be our best bet in the long run.
Get them for the cheap.
For the low.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to jump into my plan because I feel like we're almost in a similar mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So, right, everybody's been talking about Carson Wentz didn't have this, he didn't have that, He didn't have weapons to throw to, right? So this free agency, I'm not playing around with getting weapons for him. I'm not saying go out and spend $17 million on Alshon Jeffrey.
Right.
But
I don't think anyone wants to do that.
Nobody
No one,
really
no.
wants to do it. Somebody's going to do it, but nobody really truly wants to.
But here's the thing. I would rather see the Eagles get their act together on offense first than defense. And here's why. Because on offense, continuity, is harder to come by. Like, you can put we've seen the Eagles make dream teams 1,000 times before. Dream teams, right? And then everybody gets there and it's like, oh, this didn't work. So I would rather see them get young players, put them around them now so that they have time to build. I can live with the Eagles scoring enough points, and their defense. Like, look at the Giants. 2 years ago, they were scoring all those points, and their defense wasn't doing anything. Right?
Suspect.
And then now this year, their defense came back together, and now they were a solid team. They went on a nice little run, right? I would rather see that. And on another note, and I'll get you guys' thoughts on this, I think I would like to see Brandon Cooks and Midnight Green, and here's why. And we were talking about this off the set.
But what is it going to cost?
But look, they were talking about this off the set.
Yeah.
I have Brandon Cooks rated as the best wide receiver if he was in this draft.
Yeah.
And other people do too.
Right.
So if I can, I wanted to go wide receiver with that first pick anyway. So if I can take that pick Brandon, and get somebody who has 3 years experience already, 1,000 yards, how many catches?
He's proven himself already.
Yeah, he's killing it. Or would I wait and pick John Ross, who pretty much is the same player?
But he's just a question
He just
mark.
hasn't proved himself.
That's the typical Patriots way there. They're going to say, okay, I can trade for Brandon Cooks, and then I'm going to trade that first-round draft pick. And then who are we going to select at that draft pick? So we're going to select John Ross. We're going to select Mike Williams.
For sure.
So their mindset is always, is the person that we're trading for better than who we're going to pick at that spot? So
exactly.
I like that. I like that idea.
I do too. And he's younger than Carson Wentz.
Right.
He's younger than Wentz, and he's got 3 years.
Got someone to build together with.
Exactly.
Cooks is younger than
You
Wentz?
know what I'm saying? Yes.
I did not know that.
He is younger than Wentz.
That changes
How
everything.
beautiful is that?
That changes everything.
13 years in college? I don't know. Something like that.
For a PE major, right?
Oh, my God.
No shade. But seriously, that's the thing. He's younger than Wentz. And look, I say he's just as fast as Deshaun, and he's a little bit more versatile. He can run those slants, posts, all those things. He can work inside.
He got a stronger build.
Exactly. And he's a beast, too.
Yeah, he is.
He's a little monster.
Our boy Lamont's going to kill us.
Yeah,
the Eagles take his Brandon Cooks. Sorry, Saints.
What did he say if the Eagles trade a 7th-round pick and a bag of beans?
And a bag of beans.
He said he's done watching the NFL.
We're going to get him to call in one day.
Stay tuned for that.
When that trade happens, we
have
to
to get him on.
Definitely.
But definitely. And here's the thing, too. I feel like Howie Roseman might have the Saints where he wants them. Because there's no way, first of all, reports came out today yesterday, reports came out that the Patriots offered their pick, right? Mm-hmm. And that the Saints turned it down.
They don't even have a first-round pick.
Exactly. So I'm wondering, look, that is crap. I think that's the Saints trying to blow the market up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then reports again came out that the Saints turned down the 18th pick from the Titans. I really think that Howie is waiting it out. And kudos to him. Even if you don't do this on the first day, hey, maybe you wait until the draft to do it. But to me, I would rather go with a proven guy who can get it done than, wait. And I'm not knocking this wide receiver draft class, and I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I would rather see us in free agency maybe go get, another place gap guy,
Get a Kenny Britt for the cheap or something.
Yeah, something like that, and then go get another placeholder at cornerback, and then in the draft go that pick for Cooks. And second round, go get you a first-round talent cornerback. And I feel like, what do you guys think? You think that would be set? And then really, where's our hole at? And we're just –
I like that a lot.
And then maybe you bring in Jamal Charles on a 1-year prove-it deal with a 2-year option right there. You know what I'm saying?
I like Jamal Charles, but I kind of don't want him because he's so hurt.
He is. But
so
look,
banged up.
1 year, the offense already because that's a perfect situation. Come in 1 year, you already know the system. Here's your shot, and we'll put a 2-year option on there too.
Honestly,
you can pick it up.
It doesn't even matter at running back. I don't care who we get as long as Ryan Matthews is not an Eagle.
And that signing doesn't have to happen quickly because but there are options. I mean, isn't Carlos Hyde out there too? I mean, the Eagles can rock with a placeholder at running back this year. We don't have to. I mean,
and we already have good players.
Granted, yeah.
Kenyon Barner.
Granted, I like Fournette.
Wendell.
Like Fournette, if he falls, I mean, I'm throwing this whole plan out the window and I'm drafting him.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Oh, that vert, that 20.
that 28.5-inch vert, that ruined it for me.
Yeah, it was
Hey,
second
man.
worst of all time.
It doesn't matter. It just matters what he does on the field. Okay.
That's true.
And
Exactly.
he doesn't
That
jump.
he knew how to
He
jump.
doesn't jump
was
over people. He
240.
runs through them.
240 and ran like a 4.5. That's plenty.
Yeah.
He's a freight train.
We've seen him. I've seen enough tape of him running away from safeties and DBs.
Okay,
So
so
I'm good.
there we go. So pretty much we settled, young talent, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we all said what we think should happen, right? But now what's really going to happen, right? Because we know every time we say what should happen, we know the complete opposite happens, We say we should extend somebody, and then Deshaun Jackson gets cut. Deshaun, but that was a different era. But anyway, what's going to happen, joking aside?
R.I.P. in peace.
Yeah. I'm
Seriously.
gonna stick with our usual. Everything's going to slip through our fingers, as usual. We're gonna drop the ball on something, or either we're gonna get worse or we're gonna stay the same. That's just like being realistic because we tend to do like that, and it's so annoying. Hopefully, we can make something. Hopefully, we can improve ourselves, make ourselves better somehow at the cornerback position, wide receiver position. Maybe grab a running back, something. It has to happen, And I don't want to feel regret when we get to the midseason and then the guy we picked up who we thought was gonna be good is just
Turns out to be Byron Maxwell. Or
turns out to be Byron Maxwell.
Booty
Waxwell.
Baxwell. Look, you never
Byron
trust
Wax-
anybody who shows up to sign a $63 million contract.
Without a haircut.
No haircut?
He didn't even.
Listen, we're going to talk about it on another segment, but
Oh, boy.
more to come on that. But, Dougie, what's going to happen, man?
I'm really afraid that something's going to happen where the Titans somehow steal Brandon Cooks away from us.
Because they're the only team.
They offer the 18th pick and something else, and the Eagles don't only offer.
You're sitting there like,
Yeah, they're just like, Howie Roseman just doesn't
That
know what
would
to do with
hurt.
his hands at that point. He's just like, we have the 14th, but do we really want to get rid of it for him?
Yeah.
Because there's just a lot of talent out there, man.
Right, exactly. So, I'm hoping something like that doesn't happen. I'm hoping we get someone like a Kenny Britt or some veteran wide receiver, and then we somehow manage to trade for Brandon Cooks. I'm fine with staying out of the free agent market for corner and relying on the draft for that.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. I have hope, but I feel like I have fear that possibly what could possibly happen is that the Eagles will try to surround Carson Wentz with makeshift talent. So let's say like they go get like a Kenny Britt and some other,
And that's the only one that.
and that's
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
they don't address it, and then they
Right.
go double cornerback in the draft, and now all of a sudden you've got Carson Wentz with two free agents who
Right.
it's not going to work out, and then you've got him with. And then you got two, rookie cornerbacks out there starting, which is like, granted, we did that 2 years ago. Well, not 2 years ago, excuse me, in the Reed era.
Right.
But, Vincent and whatever, we had two starting cornerbacks sitting there. So it's not like they were thrown into the fire, right away. But I pray.
I do want to say, though, real quick, we are in a different era. And we are under a different coach. This isn't Chip Kelly, so we might not get we might not get the makeshift he's good enough.
Right.
The offense is gonna make him better.
Right.
That was the Chip Kelly approach.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And we can get back to the Andy Reid thing where we actually bring in solid players, and that's why possibly having a guy like Doug Peterson who was working
Reid part
along,
two.
Yeah.
we might be able to get that talent.
Hey,
So
I like it.
I'm optimistic.
It would be nice. Imagine Kenny Britt,
Right.
Brandon Cooks, back there,
A nice
and then
rookie.
and then you got, and then you're set. And hey, I like that. So look, we're gonna wrap up with that. That was predictions and what's gonna happen. Stay tuned. We're gonna go over some more fun things. This is Bird Fly Talk. Kevin Taylor here, LZ, D Hines.
On the phone. Oh, my
Pick up
bad.
the phone.
He's on the phone with the plug.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Stay woke.
Stay woke.
Stay woke. Oh yeah.